This is the Readers Are Leaders show. I never know how to begin it. I last time with Misho, I didn't even introduce Misho. I put Misho Shakur like on the title card and then underneath him, and then we just did it. I'm here with Carlito Hayes. I've known Carlito for a long time now.
Dude, it's been, I would say, a good part of a decade almost.
Man, we've known each other for for like literally a decade now. Yeah, like a better part of a decade, like 8 years probably. I've spent a lot of those 8 years on a place called McDougal Street, and you were like this. You were one of the people that was like a prophet for me there. Like you and Chris Keys were these two dudes that I would just like check in with, but you primarily because Chris Keys was there sometimes. And I would see Chris Keys other places, but you. It was always McDougal, man, and it was pretty cool. That I guess some new bits that I'm working on, and so some of these, two of them are just brand new. I haven't even said them from the stage yet. So it's I am married. Myself, a lot of people don't know this. I'm married. I am married to Weed, Coffee, and Seltzer. That is my wife, Weed, Coffee, and Seltzer. And the one downfall is I can't get my wife pregnant because Weed, Coffee, and Seltzer is infertile. It's a tragic part of our marriage. My wife is infertile, Weed, Coffee, and Seltzer. I can't even fuck her. I feel. Are you a Weed, Coffee, and Seltzer guy?
Yeah, what flavor is this? Raspberry lime? This is pretty good seltzer. I also do enjoy coffee sometimes, though. Because if I drink too much of it, I have the adverse effect. I'll just get tired.
Carlito isn't fucking all my wife. Only the weed and the seltzer on a special occasion. And so you don't really fucks with coffee all that much, huh?
I can't do it. I also have like IBS, so it's like I try not to drink too much of it, but it also like it doesn't really like pep me up. Caffeine doesn't really.
That is the unofficial hand warmer of New York City, is a cup of coffee, for me at least. And that's the beauty of the small cup of coffee. Bodegas that sell $1 small cups of coffee, they are the best. It's a $1 hand warmer. That's what it is. It's a $1 hand warmer. Okay. I was thinking about this. This was something that made me laugh. I thought about today. Pirates, clearly gay men. Clearly. Like historical pirates. Because, like, straight men would have just been like, hey, I'm staying on land where the pussy is. And because even, like, Navy, people in the Navy, that's, like, the stereotype that they're gay. And there's a lot of that going on in the Navy, and so I think it's high time we just teach that in history, that pirates it was just gay men sailing the seas, just all these pride ships, which is very, very beautiful, really, and just all sailing the sea, butt fucking. And telling stories that they had sex with mermaids, but no, it was each other. It was each other on the boat. So that's I want them to make the new Pirates of the Caribbean because even when you watch it, all the outfits they're on like they're very gay outfits and very like stereotypical, like a lot of scarves. That's, for instance. A lot of lacy scarves, and so that's that I think is stereotypically gay, not necessarily gay, but stereotypically gay, lacy scarves. And so, but yeah, they could redo the Pirates of the Caribbean with a little gay flair. You don't have any opinions at all on pirates, on whether or not they were gay. I think they probably were. I think it makes sense.
I mean, they could be. I mean, why not? I mean,
but it makes sense that would be a lifestyle they're attracted to, because someone's like, "Hey, come on this ship This ship is just, it's going to be all dudes. We're going to be gone for like 2 years at sea. And the guy's like, I only want to fuck dudes. And I want to avoid questions about like some guy, his name is Bill. And Bill's like, yo, man, all the time people ask me about why I don't fuck chicks. And I never have a good answer, but they won't ask that on the boat because there's just all dudes. And then he gets on the boat and he meets Fred, and Fred's like, I'm also here because I only fuck dudes. And then Bill and Fred, they after a long time at sea, they discover a new religion of the universe, and they say God wants us to be together. That's why we're here together at sea. I'm sure that happened. I don't know if their names were Bill and Fred, but I'm sure that love story happened. And once again, when they got back to shore, they told everyone about all the mermaids they fucked, and because they didn't want Bill and Fred did not want to talk about how they fucked each other, so they talked about all the mermaid pussy that they got. You don't have any opinions on this at all. You don't have any.
No, because mermaids. That's.
I think it's funny to speculate. Like there are certain things we know now about the world because like people like being gay is just normalized, so everyone's out. But there was the same amount of gay people back then. There wasn't less gay people back then percentage wise, and so they were just like doing closeted gay stuff. And in my mind, becoming a pirate is like the ideal. I think it also explains our attraction to pirates. There's sort of that. Like I told you, there's a lot of the lacy outfits, and I feel back then though a lot of people dressed with lacy stuff, and even the dudes who weren't the pirates wore like a lot of makeup and stuff. It was a different time. It was that's why I always think it's funny when people are like men are like this and women are like this. I'm like I don't really think there's anything like that. It's all times they are changing. Sometimes dudes wear makeup, sometimes chicks. I don't know if chicks wore makeup back then. I think they did. Maybe they wore like a shit ton
like
of makeup.
Royalty probably, because it would be expensive. So that you would have to be an aristocrat to even have it.
Okay. I guess everyone rich wore makeup back then. So no more thoughts from you on the pirates, huh? Okay.
Not really, because I still find it hilarious that as a species we actually thought mermaids existed.
Okay,
I'm just like really.
Yeah, well, the gay pirates, they needed to talk about something that they fucked that wasn't each other.
From somewhere.
And in order to, because it wasn't, they were all closeted. And so the mermaids were there as an excuse back in pirating times. So yeah. There's people who make TikToks in prison. I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if you have TikTok. Do you have TikTok?
I have it, but I don't really use it. I think I put like one thing on there. But no, I've not seen that.
There's people who make TikToks in prison. And they're pretty good. They have like a lot of followers. These people that making TikToks in prison. Pretty good, they got a lot of followers. And it got me thinking, Harvey Weinstein, he's in prison. He's a filmmaker. And so I wonder if he's there and he's thinking, I'm going to get into the TikTok game. And he's there. And then he's in the prison and he's saying to some guys in the prison, like, hey, listen, I know you want to get into the movies maybe. And come up to my cell later on tonight and we'll do a script reading to see if you have what it takes to be in my TikToks. And then he's up to his old ways.
TikToks in prison. I didn't think they even had phones. I thought they weren't supposed to have certain. I know nothing about what. I don't know.
They have like iPhone 5s. They're not good phones.
Well, I know they're not going to be good.
They're not. They're terrible phones.
But I mean, TikToks in prison.
But that's what makes them masterpieces, because you expect them to be shitty. If they had something nice, you would think this isn't a real prison. Because it's an iPhone 5, but you're like, this is a real prison.
I'm just trying to figure out during the course of the day, how, like when do you find time to I don't know. Like,
I think time is not the concern. I think they have a lot of time.
well, no, they have a lot of time to like
Yeah.
to like come up with an idea and do it. I mean,
Yeah,
it's all time, but I mean, it takes a while to like plan. Like, when would you like? That's like so like.
Well, I mean, in the prison yard, when all you get together with all your buddies, and you think to yourself, hey, today we're here, might as well try to make it famous.
Hi, my name's Nick Crespo, greatest comic in the Lower East Side. Yes, that's a fact. And I'm here in the Lower East Side to read these streets for my friend Joe Camerota, and this is the reader. I'm sorry. I don't like the snapping. Snapping's bad, but this is the Readers or Leaders show. Now I have no confidence. Fuck. On this corner, right there is where they filmed every Candyman scene that was scary. And that's not true. But that's where Asian people go where they collect their cans, and my father as well. This is the M22. This is literally the worst fucking bus in the world. This bus is actually disgusting, and it's never on time. This bus is never on time. And on this corner, actually, I picked up a pigeon, and I licked it for $20 recently. I met like 3 South Africans at a show once, and they were talking about how like the Lower East Side is in ghetto, and how it's all this place is getting gentrified, sure, but it's still dangerous. For instance, would you like to walk in this with me? No? So then keep your fucking mouth shut. Suck my dick, South Africa. Telling me anyway, it doesn't matter. All these boxes are actually new condominiums that are being built. Okay, contrary to popular belief, I'm Puerto Rican. The greatest comic in the Lower East Side can only be Puerto Rican. Or Michael Che. He moved. Madonna's daughter lives right up there. What a cunt. We should cut all that Jew stuff, by the way. We should, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. This is mostly Puerto Ricans and Jews and Asians in the Lower East Side. And now, sometimes, whites. Get it? Why? What? Sometimes why? We are walking, by the way, to another deli. This is, I will only be showing you delis and dead animals on the street. Right here is is a park where I've literally, and I shit you not, I've never stepped foot. And I will never step foot in this park. I don't like the people in there. I think they're weird. I don't play basketball, or do I play dominoes? Some of you might be wondering, how can the greatest comic in the Lower East Side, where are you past at? I'm past on the streets, and I'm past at the world-renowned Lower East Side Joey Bat's Cafe, where I perform 3 nights a week for free, but the owner likes me. Also, this, if you're not sure, is the back, not the front, this is the back of Castillo's. If you don't know what Castillo's is, it's a great Hispanic restaurant, cafe, diner, and I always stay in the back because it smells like really good chicken. Like the chicken grease, right here, every goddamn day. It's so good. I love that shit. This is my home.
Now we are talking about Green Eggs and Ham. So, I read it. I read Green Eggs and Ham, and a beautiful book, amazing book. It's about this guy. He does not like green eggs and ham. And there's this dude named Sam I Am, and first name Sam, last name I Am. And which is interesting because I Am is like is the name, I believe, the Hebrew name for God. I think that's what Yahweh means, is I am, or I am, that ams, or something. But it's like I am, basically. So I like to think this is a man having a conversation with God, and God is like, hey, try these green eggs and ham. And he's like, God, I do not like green eggs and ham. And this Sam I Am keeps on saying, please try these green eggs and ham. And he goes, no, I do not. and he goes through all the different ways he does not like green eggs and ham. I do not like it in a house or on a train or all these different places. And finally, in the end, because Sam I Am is persistent, I like to think this is like God calling this dude to make a change. And eventually, because of Sam I Am's persistence in asking him, please try some green eggs and ham, this guy does try some green eggs and ham, and turns out he loves green eggs and ham. And I related to this, man. I think there are sometimes in my life where I have these boundaries where I'm like, I won't do this, and I hold, I'm a man's got to have a code, and I won't participate in these. Especially as a comedian, there are certain I don't like it. I don't mind judges, but I don't like it when judges like tell me what they think of like my act. I just think that's ridiculous. So I won't do those shows usually. And maybe I should. Maybe that's my green eggs and ham. I don't know. I think about that sometimes. Maybe I would love that. I would I just don't. I don't mind being judged. I don't mind being on a show where somebody gives me a score or tells me if I'm a winner. But I don't like to hear their critique. But maybe I'd have fun. Maybe I'd have a good time. Maybe every judge ever would love me. I don't know. Probably not. But could be. Either way, it could be my green eggs and ham. And that's what I thought of. That's where, I guess maybe that shows some of my insecurities in that way, but that's where my mind went. That maybe that's because I say, oh, I don't want anyone to get ahead on my back. And so that's why I don't partake in things like that. And I'm very, very stoic. Maybe stoic's the wrong word, but, I'm very firm on that. I'm not taking part in things like that, in shows like that. But yeah, but maybe that's my green eggs and ham. Maybe I would love them. I don't know. But I know now this book is important to you. It's your favorite book, one of your favorite books, one of the most meaningful books to you in your life, because you have a story regarding your mom and an experience of love that is with this book. And I would love for you to please tell that story. And I would love for you to please talk about why it's your favorite book too. Just the philosophy of green eggs and ham.
The reason why it is my favorite book is because it means so much to me. Because as a kid growing up, I didn't have my mother for very long. She passed away of lupus.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh, no, thank you. But it's like the time that I spent with her, it was always something that she would, I had a buddy that taught me stuff and made sure I didn't die. She dabbled in everything. Like she was the reason why I had a love for like reading, poetry, art, music, science. So she would as she would learn something, she would like, hey, let's go to the planetarium. We did stuff like that. Green Eggs and Ham was the first book that she put in my hands as soon as I could read, and the reason why that stayed with me was because when I was 5, I had the experience of the colors, and I liked the character that popped, and she made she took the time to make a hat for me out of paper mache, and so she made me the hat so I could be Cat in the Hat for the day, for my birthday when I was 5. And just the fact that she took time to do that was just so awesome to me. Yeah. And she even tried to make green eggs and ham for me just so I could see what it would look like in the real world. It wasn't bad. I wouldn't advise.
Just with food coloring.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise that much food coloring though. But she did things like that for me, and that's why it was so special. Because reading was always very important to her, and she was like, any way I can get them to love it immediately, she did. And people would wonder, why would you read some of the books that you read? Well, because she got me young, interested in the characters. So it's like, why would I not like, The Cook's Tale, Geoffrey Chaucer? Like, why would I not see a movie in my head, when I read it, so I'll retain whatever it is in it. I never understood why people don't like reading. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
love
every
it.
time you give me, even if I don't like the book you give me, every time, just the fact that I'm turning pages, it reminds me of that moment where my mom went out of her way to make my day special for my birthday. It's like I'll
Yeah.
never forget that, and she did it in an educational way. Like I thought that was awesome. So I've never wanted to not learn stuff just because.
I love too this idea that she made you this hat, and so you were able to play the character too, and you're a performer now. That's very beautiful. That's very beautiful.
So I always kind of wanted to
Right.
like I wanted to like always she bought me a chemistry set when I was about 10 years old.
Yeah.
Like so she's always had that in front of me. She's like, look, learn stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So I ended up, always wanting to learn. Like I went to Stony Brook. I'm just like, why am I even here? But, I just always remember like her joy, her passion for learning and trying something new. Like you said, the green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
And she went to make that hat. So I'm just kind of like she was.
I love that, man. There's so many angles to this. There's the meaning of the book too. That idea of just the thirst for knowledge, to try something new, just to know. Yeah, just to know about it, the ins and outs about it. Because that is what the book is about. It's about being not afraid to learn. And I feel like God put people in my life because I'm supposed to learn things from them. And I figure a way to do that is to ask the person what their favorite book is. I figure that's kind of an easy way to say it, in a weird way, like say what's important to you. You know what I mean? And because I think books kind of communicate that for us. So thank you, man, so much. Sha la 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 la. Was down through New Amsterdam. Staring at this yellow-haired girl, Mr. Jones strikes up a conversation with a black-haired flamenco dancing. No, she dances while her father plays guitar. She's suddenly beautiful, and we all want something beautiful. Man, I wish I was beautiful. So come dance the silence down through the morning. Sha la 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 la, yeah. Yeah. Cut up, Maria. Show me some of that Spanish dances and pass me a bottle, Mr. Jones.